Hi everyone, it's the English Simmer here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, as you probably know from the title, I'm going to be talking about the must-have mods for Discover University. I would call this most used, but I actually just downloaded these bad boys for the sake of this video. However, I will definitely be keeping them all in my game because they are super helpful. So these are mods that either fix like little oversights that seem to occur throughout Discover University. There's also a mod where you can have bikes for children, which I know was one of the biggest complaints. There have been a few complaints about Discover University. On the whole, it seems to be a pretty positive pack, and I genuinely do think the Sims team did a really good job on it, but there are little picky things that definitely could have been done a little bit better. So I'm going to be walking you through these mods and how they will help your Discover University gameplay. The first mod we're going to talk about is by Pimp My Sims 4, which, fun fact, I was actually gonna use this plumb bob on like the first ever logo I had. I don't know why I just thought of that, but it just reminded me. So we all know that the Discover University expansion only actually came with one new aspiration, and it's basically about attending university and getting a degree. It's kind of a walkthrough of university. So Pimp My Sims was a little bit disappointed when they went to explore this game and there was only one aspiration, so they decided to make a whole bunch. There is now a pack that includes 7 aspirations that utilize some of the new features that came with the pack, whilst also focusing on other aspects of a Sim's life. So you have one that's to do with being a sporty scholar, a campus crook, a part-time parent, a part-time student, balanced life, campus crush, party school, and those are it. So we're actually going to hop into my creator sim and kind of investigate these a little more closely. So I got my girl Sydney up in here. If we actually head to her aspiration, as you can see, she has the current one that came with university, which is academic. This sim wants to attend university and get a job, but most importantly, learn. But as you can see, with this mod installed, there is a bunch of new ones. Sims with the sporty scholar aspiration want to maintain their grades whilst being involved in extracurricular activities that boost their fitness. If we go to deviance, we have the campus crook. Sims with the campus crook aspiration want to get through school whilst doing the least amount of work and getting in as much trouble as possible. Cheating is always an option for this sim, and cheating is a part of Discover University, but guess what? The aspiration doesn't utilize that, so it's quite nice to see that there is now an aspiration that utilizes it if you download this mod. Part-time parent. Sims with the part-time parent aspiration want to maintain in a good relationship with their children whilst getting a good education. That's so sweet. Then if we head to fortune, part-time student. Sims with the part-time student aspiration want to maintain their grades whilst working a part-time or a full-time job. After all, school isn't cheap. Then we have campus crush. Sims with the campus crush aspiration want to find the love or loves of their life whilst attending university. And then down in popularity, we have party school. Sims with the party school aspiration care more about having the time of their lives than getting good grades. So this adds a lot of personality to your Sims. The way custom aspirations work is exactly the same as regular aspirations in The Sims 4. If we actually head back to Pimp My Sims 4 page, you can see that in the aspiration bit, you do have 4 different kind of areas that you need to do, 4 different steps to complete this aspiration. So for example, for the sporty scholar, enroll in uni, make 2 friends with teammates, study for 2 hours, and reach level 3 fitness skill. And they do all come with a reward trait as well. Next up, we have one of my favorite modders for The Sims 4 and in the Sims community. This is Zero Sims. Zero Sims just seems to take things that like really are overlooked in the game or need fixing, and they just go all out to help bring like as much out of a new pack as they can. But this is Teens Jump to University. I'm actually not going to show this one off in my game just because this pops up randomly and therefore I don't know if it'd pop up or not, and I'm on a limited time slot to record this video, so apologies for not having footage from my own gameplay. But this mod is born from an idea in the comments. There's a mod that already allows you to enroll teens in uni, but I wanted something a bit different. So in my mod, the school will be the one to offer a high school A student the chance to enroll in university during school hours. So this will be a random pop-up that occurs, and it's not so high, so that's quite nice. You know, there's definitely an element of luck to this, but the chances actually do increase if you are a genius team. So as you can see, Cassandra got this pop-up that said jump to university. Thanks to the excellent results, the school's giving Cassandra the opportunity to complete her studies and jump directly to university. This is like a chance card in Monopoly, so you can either choose to quit high school and then enroll yourself into uni, or you can just continue in high school if you don't want your teen to go to uni. So they actually send the application for your teen, so you don't even need to apply, but you can check the application status, and then you can enroll this teen into uni exactly the same way that you can enroll any sim, but they don't have to be a young adult. You don't have to age them up into a young adult. They can go to university as a teenager. I know some people were disappointed that you couldn't send teens to uni in the actual like pack. To me, it makes sense because I don't really see teenagers in The Sims 4 as like 18-year-olds. I see like young adults as like 18 to 25-year-olds. So it really depends on how you like classify the age groups. Also, it does probably require Get Famous just because that's really what the chance cards came with. So best not to install this if you don't have Get Famous. And like I said, Zero just takes things that seem to be broken or need fixing in the official Sims 4 release and just makes it better. And this is definitely one of those things. University costs more. I said it in my Discover University like first look that school was actually really, really cheap. The Sims team did say that they wanted like a more worldwide university. Some European countries don't even have to pay anything to go to uni. Imagine a country that believes in you as a young adult and they're like, you know what, we want you to go to university. We want you to be a smart citizen and we feel proud that you have chosen to go to university, so therefore we aren't going to charge you for that luxury. Honestly, I can't imagine it because when I started going to uni, the fees just got increased. So I am drowning in student debt. That's a lie. I'm not even earning enough money to repay my student loans. So basically, I think the more classes you choose to do, then the higher it actually gets. Zero has actually made it so you can change this. You can personalize it to your own amount. So definitely check out this page if you want to go into like more detail about it. But electives also changes based on the way it seems logical to me. For this one, I'm actually gonna cheat his way into university. So if you actually shift click on a sim, this university debug menu comes up if you have testing cheats enabled in your game, and then you can just automatically enroll them into university. So we're gonna have Lionel, we're gonna just go for art history in Brightchester, and then let's go for all 4 classes just so we can see this. Actually, I'm gonna go for 3 classes, and then for his elective, the vampire one was actually the most expensive, so we're gonna go for the vampire law of garlic. It's already gone up. So his first class costs 1,240, second 1,480, third 1,720, and then his elective, and the vampire one is the most expensive, is 5,200, but he also has a scholarship as well. And in total, it comes to 9,140. Again, another major complaint I saw when it comes to the official release of Discover University is the fact that you cannot have stoves on a university housing. I can't remember, but I'm fairly sure there was another restriction as well, or maybe it was just stoves and outdoor cooking in uni housing. But Zerbu has our back. So the Sims 4 mod, no university housing restrictions. Pretty self-explanatory. You download this into your game and you'll be able to place stoves and outdoor cooking utensils and barbecues and things like that in your university housing. As you can see, I am already in university with my girls, and I also have turned on enable free build mode. So if we go over here, if you click the locked info panel, usually it would say that it had restrictions on ovens, but obviously with Zerbu's mods, you have actually just removed that. So if we come down here to kitchen, we can place any stove that we like, and just to show you guys that it does actually work, I'm gonna get a little counter as well. Let's just add that in here, and then we go into live mode. We'll have Sydney come on over here and I'll have her have some breakfast of eggs and toast. So she's gonna come on over here, hopefully she's gonna move her little butt. Yep, there she goes. And she's gonna use the oven. She is living in dorms. She is currently in Drake Hall in Brightchester, and she's using the oven absolutely fine. So Zerbu's mod works. Everything is working A-okay, and you can now build kitchens in your university housing. And another Zerbu mod that came out for Discover University is actually related to sport. So as you guys know, we got the soccer team, we also got the sports arena on university campuses, and we got the new soccer ball. And Zerbu was playing around with this and noticed that there are some bugs. Basically, Sims won't gain any from attending games at the stadium. So if you install this mod, then Sims will start to gain fun whilst they're at the stadium. Child Sims can't attend games, even though there is an option for them to do so. Definitely seems like an oversight, definitely seems like a bug. So this mod pretty much fixes that, and you can have Child Sims attend games. And also Child Sims don't build the motor skill when they play with the soccer ball, which again seems like an oversight from the Sims team. So Zerbu fixed it, and your kids can actually gain motor skill. The next mod is actually one that I talked about in yesterday's Discover University part of my Let's Play, and this is the faster homework mod by Scarlett. And basically, in Discover University, homework seems to take an age. If you like that it's pretty tough to get all of your homework done before all of your classes, then you won't need this mod. But basically, if you install this, there are actually 3 different versions to choose from. So you can do your university homework in 10 minutes, which is slightly unrealistic. University homework in 25 minutes. I actually downloaded the 25-minute one. To me, 25 minutes was the most realistic, or you can go for 50 minutes. So Sydney does actually have some homework to do. So we're gonna go down to her homework. We're gonna tell her to do the Tempest inside, and then you'll be able to see how quickly she's now able to complete her homework. Like I said, I have the 25-minute version of this mod in. If you want to make it even easier on your Sims, then you can definitely add in the 10 minutes. So she started it at about 5 to 7, and she's already just over halfway through. So it definitely picks up speed an awful lot, and honestly, I do think that is realistic. Like I said, I probably spent around 25 minutes doing readings, and you already have like separate term papers and separate presentations to do. So these are like the big ones. I feel like homework just kind of prepares you for class. So in my opinion, it is realistic that you can now do it in a shorter amount of time. As I'm sure you all know by now, because it was one of the biggest selling points of Discover University, but we have bikes. This is another mod mod by Scarlett, and it's no bike helmets. So basically, if you want your Sims to live on edge, then you can download this mod and they won't be given a bike helmet. I think the bike helmets actually do work really weirdly. Like whenever your Sim is riding around, they change their helmets constantly. Like they don't stick to one color helmet, which I find really weird. Like I don't think you can choose what color you want or like set a preference for it. Hello, we need something that allows us to choose our Sim's favorite color because I'm sick of just imagining it. And Scarlett also says, after all, not much point in safety considering they don't even get injured, which is true. Sims can't fall off a bike, they can't get into crashes, there are no cars in the game to run over them, so realistically your Sims can't get injured, so what's the point of having a bike helmet? I'm actually, just for this video, gonna have her miss class and I'm gonna have her ride the bike around just to show you guys that she will no longer automatically put on a helmet. I think this affects other people in the world. Unfortunately, there's no one really riding around at this moment in time, which is very unfortunate, but I'm fairly sure it will also affect townies as well. So I don't think townies will wear helmets either if you download Scarlett's no bike helmets mod. Scarlett basically went all out when it came to Discover University fixes in their mods. So this one is no meal spawning roommates. You guys know, I'm sure, if you've lived in dormitories in Discover University in either Foxbury or Brightchester, your roommates will constantly just bring food and it will just like sit out on the coffee tables and go absolutely rank unless you swipe it away and put it in your own mini fridge. So this mod is a quick fix and it basically prevents roommates from conjuring meals out of thin air. So if you actually download Zerbu's No Restrictions and then you also download this, you can actually create a kitchen and roommates will probably cook for themselves. So still as messy, but a little bit more realistic than like them pulling it out of their trousers. To show off the no meal spawning, I'm probably gonna have to do some tidying up over here. So I'm gonna throw away these dishes. As you can see, there is currently nothing on the tables, and this is usually like a constant flurry of roommates just kind of whipping stuff out of their trousers, which honestly is just gross in itself. If you weren't gonna get scurvy from eating like hamburger cake over and over again throughout your years in uni, you are definitely going to get it for the fact that your roommates just used to have random food lying around. So he actually just brought this out because it was in our mini fridge. If we actually open this up, you can see I actually stole some lobster thermidor. So he didn't actually pull this out of his trousers. That is legitimately in the dorm room, and also no others are spawning. And speaking of food in Discover University, you have probably had a microwave meal and it's probably been terrible because you bought a really cheap microwave. So you constantly get this buff of cold in the middle, which lasts for 4 hours. It is only an uncomfortable +1, but it can be a slight annoyance. So if you no longer want the bad microwave buffs, then you can also download this Scarlett mod and it will get rid of the cold in the middle buff. Joanne currently has the worst possible microwave, so we're gonna have a breakfast burrito. She just constantly wants to do homework. She is such a good sim when it comes to doing her college homework. She's gonna make a breakfast burrito for herself, and the likelihood of getting the cold in the middle buff off this thing is so ridiculously high. I'm fairly sure I've had it every single time I've made a microwave meal in Discover University, so I'm only gonna do this once just to show you guys. She's really not that hungry. She's probably gonna go into like a little bit of a food coma after she's eaten this breakfast burrito, but come sit your butt down and gobble on that burrito, please. So there we go. Joanne has finished her meal and she has pretty tasty. That was a fairly tasty dish. MSQ Sims actually came up with a mod that allows bikes for children. So here is a mod that allows children to ride bicycles. When the kids are on the bike, they will not wear a helmet like the adults. The animation is not correct because the animation was made for adults. So you can place a bike from the build catalog in the world. When the child sim is on the bike, then click on the ground and click on the pie menu bike and bike here. Obviously their legs will stretch because, as MSQ says, this animation is not a reanimation. They didn't actually make an animation for the children. They just kind of modded it. So I'm sure the kids' legs will stretch, but if that doesn't bother you, then this is really handy for now. I'm honestly disappointed that the Sims team didn't actually officially add bikes for kids. It just seems like a complete oversight and it seems like a rush job. I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. And lastly, we have what is probably the biggest mod that I am talking about in this video, and it's of course Little Miss Sam. Again, one of my favorite creators out there for The Sims 4, just does so many handy mods. If you don't have a Little Miss Sam mod in your game, you're doing it wrong, because honestly, the god of all gods. So this is the choose your roommate, and obviously you need Discover University, just like all of these mods. So this is another big complaint about the official release of Discover Uni, is that you're lumped with, if you choose to go to dorms, you're lumped with 9 or however many other Sims that you can't control, and you also can't move people in with you unless you want to have them as playable Sims. So this mod actually allows you to pick your roommates. There is actually a lot of steps, so if you don't understand my explanation or my gameplay, whilst you are downloading this mod, definitely read through all the steps, especially number 4. Like I said, I'm gonna try my best to walk you guys through these instructions. If I'm looking at my other screen quite a lot, I apologize. I'm just trying to go through Little Miss Sam's steps so that I don't ruin anything and I can actually show you how this mod works to the best of my ability. So choose the sim you actually want to have as an NPC roommate. Have them live at home. If you have them live at home when you are enrolling them, as you can see, I have my high prices from the mod that we already talked about higher tuition. And once you have done this, you actually need to move the sim out. If you have a full household of just like Sims who you want to be your roommates, you can just evict them all, but currently I only want Lionel to go to university and become a roommate. So I'm actually gonna come down to the new travel and I'm gonna split from household and move. I actually haven't tested this in my game so far, but I want like the parents and his little brother to obviously stay at home. He's the only one I need to move out. So if there are Sims that will still live there, you can let them stay in their home. Be aware, don't let any children or toddler be left at home. There needs to be at least one teen plus in the household. The game will remove the roommates out of the household when they become your roommates. Okay, so we are moving him into a new household that is currently not in the world. And then I'm actually gonna click on out of here because I want him to go into my households bin. This is probably like a really hard way of doing it, but I understand what I'm doing, so hopefully you guys do as well. And then Sam says, now that all Sims are prepared, go back into your played household. So we are gonna head back to the household that we already have at university that we want an NPC roommate in, and those are his little sisters who are currently living over in Drake housing. Then you actually need to find your mailbox, and because there are obviously already 10 roommates on this lot, we're gonna remove a roommate who we don't get along with. So let's remove Benjamin because we don't really need him. And then if we go back to the mailbox, we can choose a roommate. And here you can see all the people who are currently enrolled in university. And if you've done this correctly, you will be able to see the sim that you have put into your bin. So here we have Lionel Yates. We are going to click on him to confirm it. Hopefully he will appear on the lot soon enough. So I'm gonna hang out here a little bit. There he is. All right, so he is an NPC roommate, which is wild. I honestly don't know how this works, like when he finishes or when the girls finish. I guess I could add him to my household by doing shift click and then hopefully add to family, and that would work, and then I could move them all out because he is technically already enrolled in university. Be aware you can only do this with Sims who are enrolled, so you need to have them enrolled in uni before you do any of the other steps. Like I said, I hope this was clear for you guys. If not, go and read Sam's instructions because they are very clear. I've literally just done this in like 2 minutes whilst reading her instructions. But she also states that the most important step is to actually go back to the household manager and give those roommates' households a name. And I recommend to move them into my households as well. So we're going to go to manage worlds. I'm going to go to save and manage worlds. And then we're going to hopefully find Lionel. So we're going to go over to manage households. And then in my households, if I scroll right the way down, we can see Yates is over here. I'm going to name this Lionel just so he has a household's name. And he's also already in my household. So that's good, but I'm gonna just make sure he has a name. So there we go. He is done. He is an NPC roommate, as you can see. And there we have it, guys. That pretty much wraps up this video. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope these mods were helpful. I hope I was easy to understand. That's always why I freak out the most when recording these videos. I'm like, what if I'm just a blubbering mess and no one really understands what I'm talking about? I know it seemed like I was going through them fairly quickly, but I knew I had like a lot of mods to talk about, and I didn't want this video to be like 45 minutes long. So let me know what you thought of these mods down below. If there are any others that you feel are missing from my game, then definitely let me know down in the comment section. Honestly, I do really love Discover University as a pack. I just think there were some slight oversights or like things that the Sims team did that the actual player base would have preferred them to do a different way, such as kids being able to ride bicycles, and also maybe giving us the option to allow stoves on our university housing lots. But if you download these mods, you don't need to worry about that anymore because we just covered all of them. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, give it a big thumbs up. If there are any other mods or custom content videos that you would like to see from me on my channel, then definitely let me know. Subscribe if you aren't already. Remember to hit that bell notification button, and I will speak to you all in my next video. Bye guys!